This is the 3D Zim right here, cruising across the 3D shell. And you kind of get all the storytelling right there. And then when you get down here into the feet, those are 2D feet that we suddenly place in, that the animators did over in Korea. Quite an interesting shot. Really a great challenge to pull together. But very simple, actually, in concept. Just most people don't even take the time to do that sort of work in American animation TV. This whole sequence, very Kirby-ish. It's a pity the sound doesn't hit. It really stinks that the sound never played out that well. I hope that people get to see the DVD of this series sometime, because the sound will be so much better. On TV, the sound was always done in mono, and it really was depressing. It never gave a great effect. Sound is really meant to be played in stereo, you know, probably 5 or 5.1, and really cranked up. Our colors and our sound really got botched by Nickelodeon's broadcast. But they generally just do this sort of kids programming, bland kids programming. So we were actually trying to make these little mini movies. Not quite the average fare that they're ready to broadcast. It's a pity we never had a 3D Earth in this. Should have been a 3D Earth. And 3D rocks we should have had. Storytelling's just haphazard towards the end. Rise of the Zitboy. This was a Roman Dirge script. I guess Frank Conniff sort of pieced it together. Storyboarded by Ron Brewer and Joe Daniello. And I can't remember who else was on it. Ian Graham. This was Ron Brewer's last show. He took off for Family Guy, became an assistant director. It was funny. This is actually my first week or two on Zim. It was just the writers and me, and Brent Crow as production assistant hanging out, or production coordinator. And I guess Roman came up with the idea for this, or Jonan did. It was Breach to Mary as a script. I think it was just an outline form at this point or something. Mary hated it. She said this was a very young idea, that she would call it baby. This is a baby idea, this whole zit thing. And she's very upset about it, but I liked it. I thought that was actually a rather nice idea. It was wonderfully disgusting, and I kept saying it's going to be so great because you could just build up to this great ending with this incredible zit popping sequence. It would just be the most disgusting thing. And it's, it at least has a pacing that, you can build up to a dramatic ending with that zit burst. She never liked that I was into that sort of disgusting sequence at the end. She'd occasionally bring it up and say, well, you can do something like that zit burst elsewhere. Shame, though. It's sort of a callback to Career Day with that molting effect going on. The pus is almost the same sort of effect. That awkward read on ordered. That's because of me. I used to be in the booth with Jonan for the first season, and a lot of times people would say things, and he would know the line because he had written it, or he had been over the writing a million times, and he knew what was being said. So when he heard it said, the people, the character actors, would just blur the lines together, and I'd have to slow him down and say, no, you have to say the line, emphasize certain syllables. Can you all please emphasize syllables? Like I remember Mysterious Mysteries, the guy saying Pigfoot ended up sounding like Bigfoot because he, it was just Pigfoot. Yeah, we're going to research Pigfoot, and it sounds sort of like big. And I had to say, please pronounce the P, so it's Pigfoot. And so was the case there when Jonan was in the booth. I was directing him, and I had to tell him, please, can you, ordered just sound ordered. And it's like, what? Can you please pronounce it? Say ordered. Ordered. So if you ever hear awkwardly pronounced lines, it's probably my insistence gone through Jonan. Jonan hating that, I had an input into such things. Very charming. Gurr in the box, in the pizza box. I believe that jerky animation on the character walking back there, it originally was just so bad. It was full animation. It was so bad that Jonan opted to get it edited, so it was just, frame, frame, frame. That is a horrible design. Always love the agony in this show. I believe we used that commercial in several other episodes. I remember Jonah talking about this joke. Jonah was very pleased about this whole joke with Gurr and the pimple. Maybe it was Roman. I can't remember. One of those two. Just absolutely enthralled with this joke. And that was pretty funny. You have no idea how Gurr got in or out. It's just Roman's whole idea with this whole, drawing the face on the zit. Really nice. I don't think New York wanted to do this script originally. And Jonan or Roman, I think it was Roman, made up T-shirts. They made up Zitboy T-shirts. I think Roman had designed the basic character of Zim with the zit. And they wore these T-shirts into the script writing meeting with these Zitboy drawings on the T-shirts. And I think that's how they got the episode okayed, and they were able to make this. So this is Joe Daniela's first board, although he's just working off of Ron Brewer's thumbnails. Dancing like a monkey. That's still used to this day on merchandising. I thought I remember other scripts using the same sort of thing that were coming down the line. Something about hypnotizing kids. Great name, Postulio. Those kids on the swings. I have no idea why those kids on the swings back there are going so high. I don't know who drew that or how that ever worked out, but it's kind of funny in the end, Jonan putting on the screams of the kids. I remember the dialogue here is just so weirdly read that people on the staff were repeating this dialogue for weeks after the show was done. I forgot about this episode. I haven't seen this for a year or more, I think. And I'm still on Zim. So I think ever since broadcast, I never saw this episode again. This spine joke.